Order.
Law and Order is NBC.
Yeah, USA is NBC though.
No, no, it's not. It's owned by Universal. Law and Order still airs on fucking NBC, not on USA. They hold their they have reruns.
Yeah.
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 I don't think that's gonna keep high ratings.
Well, Lillian Garcia might.
Yeah, she might, because she has announced that the longtime ring announcers podcast called Chasing Glory is headed to the WWE Network. In fact, the show will be available on the free version of the network. Garcia's podcast is just the latest in a series of shows heading to the WWE Network. As we mentioned last week, Paystee, Sam Roberts and Shane Strickland's shows would both be available on the network soon.
Yes, showing just how much they value Lillian Garcia's return to the company. It's free.
She's free. Just spread her out to anyone.
Speaking of all these podcasts, which can't keep up with the quality of beef sticks,
No way.
showing up on the network, WWE has officially unveiled its plans for the various podcasts and Instagram shows it has brought into the fold on WWE Network, rebranding them as the WWE Conversation Series. God, how fucking lame.
Isn't that the dumbest fucking thing?
It's so... wow.
What would intrigue people? What's one word that gets people excited? Conversation? Yes!
Table for Three was hardly cutting it. This is real bad.
Yeah.
The network will now host one podcast per day throughout the week. The schedule includes in-house WWE creations like Corey Graves' After the Bell and the New Day Feel the Power, which should be done now, really. And acquired shows like Lillian Garcia's Chasing Glory and the Swerve City podcast. Each new episode of the Conversation series will be available on the free version of the WWE Network, and shows that were previously audio-only outside of social media clips will be given a video component as part of the transfer. While the entire rebranding is a bit over the top, anything that gives the world more of the New Day in video form is most likely a good thing at the end of the day.
Exactly.
I'd say that's the one thing that you win on. Because I do. I listen to the podcast, but then sometimes I'll see clips on YouTube. I'm like, I want to watch the show. Because it's got to be so much better to see them.
Right.
And then you can't watch the show. Well, I guess now you can.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's like, I might like it better in video form.
Yeah.
And then the way that they wrote, the previously audio only will be given a video component. I'm like, what if some of them were never videoed? Are they just going to lip sync it? Or are they going to animate it? Or do we got some claymation going here? What's going on? But no, it's
just the reused footage of the Thunderdome audience.
It's a Thunderdome audience. Yeah, I don't know that I'll watch any of these, but I mean, again, hey, they're trying something, and we all knew when they put out a free tier of the network, you gotta give them some bottom feeding shit. You gotta give the people who are latching on for free some kind of shit. And if all these things are already
that's been on the network forever that everybody's already seen.
Well, but there's dumb people like me that pay for all the old shit. You know what I mean? But people are already listening to Lillian Garcia's podcast for free, and then the New Day podcast for free, and Shane Strickland's Swerve for free. It's like...
I wonder if all these podcasts are only going to exist on the network now.
I think they wouldn't be smart to do that, because I think it's good advertisement for the network to have the audio clips on certain podcasting sites. But yeah, that is a good question with the whole Twitch and
Spotify just did that with the Joe
thing.
Rogan podcast. At the end of this month, he goes exclusive with them, and you can't hear it anywhere else. And then next year, the video portion is off of YouTube, and it's on Spotify.
Yeah.
So I think the world of podcasts is going to be like Netflix and Hulu and HBO Max and everything else.
Oh, probably. I mean, they all are turning that way anyways. So as anything gets more popular, it's going to get more monetized. We know that. That's called commerce.
Yes.
And somebody who knows a lot about commerce for Paystee is Masked Republic, which is a privately held company and the first integrated live event merchandising and media organization uniquely centered in the emerging growth of lucha libre and dedicated to expanding the sport, deemed an integral part of Mexican culture beyond the borders of Mexico. And they have seen a recent expansion that has allowed for merchandise featuring legendary luchadors to be sold at Hot Topic stores, the store that grew New Japan to the American audience. Now, the company has announced new roles and hires that will see a unified focus on the growth of content development and expansion of licensing opportunities into the United States.
That's exciting.
So it's basically just like when the Bullet Club in New Japan got their license to go to Hot Topic is literally kind of when they blew up in America, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So this could only be good for the Mexican wrestling culture, AAA, CMLL, and the rest.
I just hope they have a nice assortment of high-quality lucha masks. That'd be awesome.
You know what? I would be surprised if you're going into Hot Topic as a lucha site and don't have masks.
Yeah.
I mean
high-quality ones, not
I hear
like what
ya.
you get off a WWE shop.
Right. I hope so, too, because you know what? I'd buy some.
Yes. And in an effort to build upon the success of the Last Ride docuseries, WWE has announced 30 Days of the Dead Man. Beginning October 25th, the WWE Network will air a new documentary on The Undertaker every Sunday for 5 straight weeks. The first documentary on The Undertaker will be an episode of WWE Untold, titled The Phenom and the Legend Killer. The episode will focus on classic matches between The Undertaker and Randy Orton. Classics.
Of course. When I think of The Undertaker, I think of RKO. Well, what may... Go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay, well, what may not be any better, Paystee, is the second documentary in the series is titled Meeting Mark Calloway and will air on Sunday, November 1st. The documentary will focus on interviews with WWE superstars as they tell stories about the first time they were introduced to The Undertaker.
I'll
Sounds
be passing on
riveting.
that one for sure. If I wasn't skipping out on the first one. Fuck. The third documentary will air on November 8th. It is titled The Mortician, the story of Paul Bearer. This documentary will focus on the life and career of Taker's longtime manager, William Moody, a.k.a. Paul Bearer.
How come the first one that I want to watch isn't about Undertaker?
Right.
But the
I just
fourth
love
one...
how Taker's been like going backstage and begging to Vince for years, please, can this be my last match? I want to be done. And finally Vince is like, yes, but we're going to beat this dead horse till it's gone.
No doubt.
Fuck.
The fourth one, Paystee, I am interested in. It's a documentary titled Brothers of Destruction and will air on Sunday, the 15th of November. This episode will focus on the longtime rivalry and alliance between Kane and The Undertaker, kayfabe brothers.
And finally, the fifth installment of 30 Days of the Dead Man will air on Sunday, November 22nd, and I know you can't wait for this one, as The Undertaker returns to 316 Gimmick Street for another session on Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull Sessions.
Ooh. Amazing.
Yay.
Good. Fucking amazing.
God. And then at the end of this, they're going to announce that he's coming back for Survivor Series. That's what I keep hearing.
I'm telling you. They're juicing the shit out of this Undertaker. They're not... Well, and you know what?
And
I guess
the next time he retires, they can do it all over again. That's the best part.
Let's be honest. This whole COVID thing is... For everything was the worst possible time ever because it's awful. But it may be... Undertaker may be the only one who's benefited from it. Because Undertaker can now have strictly cinematic matches that can just highlight what's good and hide what's bad. And he can wrestle for another 20 years if COVID keeps up.
Right?
Fuck. They could pull a remember the Simpsons episode Weekend at Burnsies where Homer gets medical marijuana and then he kills Mr. Burns and then they put him up on like a like Pinocchio as
Yes.
a little marionette, and they start dead. You could do that with Undertaker. You could be dead and just start do 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 do. It's it's good stuff.
Oh,
It's great.
after Mark dies, Vince is gonna totally use holograms to bring him back.
Well, I mean, he's technically the dead man. You don't even
Right.
have to use holograms. You can just wheel
He's
his
the
dead
really
ass.
dead man.
Just push him over on top of somebody. 1, 2, 3. Undertaker won. Fucking
The Undertaker versus his Undertaker
right.
in a buried alive or dead match.
We have a fucking. It's a pallbearer match. How many guys can actually? Can we have 2 guys carry the Undertaker's coffin? No. It's gonna be 4. Oh, they can't do it. Bring in another 2. Can we get 6? It isn't happening. Oh my gosh, who's gonna come in? Oh,
next month on the WWE Conversation Series, we host hour-long interviews with each of the druids who have worked with Undertaker throughout the years.
With a special appearance from one of the penis druids from AEW. Paystee, the penis druid may be coming. This whole Undertaker shit at some point has to go. But that doesn't stop Beef Sticks podcast from moving on, and we're moving on to the comings and goings. And Paystee, on this week's AEW Dark, Eddie Kingston announced that Ali, a.k.a. The Bunny, was now a member of his yet unnamed stable, which also consists of the Lucha Brothers and the team of the Butcher and the Blade. Now, the Bunny was originally introduced to AEW programming as a valet of the Butcher and her real-life husband, the Blade, who is better known as Pepper Parks outside of AEW, before being bounced around to various gimmicks and teams. She aligned herself with the Nightmare family, then she started accompanying QT Marshall during his matches, and following that, she formed a tag team with Brandy Rhodes called the Nightmare Sisters, before returning as the Bunny in Kingston's group.
So was there I want to know, I didn't watch AEW or Dark this week. Did he just announce that she's back, or is there actual story going into this?
I didn't watch it.
I know a long time ago he told the Blade he's got to get his life right.
All I know is I think they don't know what to do with Allie, which is sad because she's an amazing talent. But at the same time, I feel like I loved her as the Bunny with the Butcher and the Blade, and I think her being the one, if not first, female in Eddie Kingston's group is great. I like this. I like what they're doing with her. I like what they're doing with Eddie's group, and maybe that's just because I like everybody involved in it right now, but I guess that's what makes a great group, maybe?
Yeah.
I am kind of wondering what they're going to do, if they're even ever going to name his faction, or if it's just always going to be just them. But I want it to be a name, although I don't think they have great names in AEW yet. I don't like Inner Circle. I'm probably the only person who thinks the original name was a better name than Inner Circle, which was The Fist. I don't know. It was going to be 5 members, 5 fingers of a hand. The Fist. It was kind of a spoof on the hand from Daredevil. Jericho's a big comic guy. I like it. I think I liked is the Fist any worse than the Inner Circle? We're gonna fist ya. Why is it any worse than the Inner Circle, though, really?
No, it would work. I think it would work well.
You know, the Nightmare Collective, I thought was dumb, or Nightmare
I feel like
Family,
the only reason they called him the Inner Circle was a jab at CM Punk because of Inner Circle doing his theme song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, allegedly, what? That was Living Color.
Shut up.
Okay. You just really threw me off for a second.
Inner Circle is a band, though.
I heard Inner Circle came from...
Oh, Inner Circle's the ones who sing Bad Boys. Bad boys, oh, what you gonna do? Yeah, very different.
I have heard that Inner Circle came... According to Jericho, Inner Circle came when he was on Being the Elite, and he just said, "This is my inner circle of guys," and then afterwards,
God, they should be called the Inner Circle of Guys. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Right, the Inner Circle of Guys.
That's very Chris Jericho marketable, I think.